Man, say look out, bro. We live again, bro. I don't know if y'all see that song Adam 22 Brick Baby Trap Lil Ross had did, bro. The shit was for man. I won't get my shit straight, but that shit was Travis. But it said that Trap Lil Ross had the best verse on that hoe. But I think these boys are in this.
Let's just get
in this damn situation because Brick Baby opened his mouth like about the whole situation, even though goddamn me Dirk was dropping hints in the fucking song and shit. But Brick Baby, he ran his mouth to get them boys in the gym, but now he want to play stupid like he don't know what's fuck going on.
to brass tacks.
Hold on, man.
We've talked about Cracker Barrel. We love Cracker Barrel, but it would appear that you've been going through some wild stuff, and it feels like we need to talk about this. The people probably want to hear us commentate on this. What's the last week of your life been like? And not even really like a whole week. It's been like
3 days.
Yeah, because just to put the timeline down, me and Wack do the podcast on Thursday at like 5.
That was right after the indictment, right?
Right after the indictment, but right before they pick up Dirk. And so then we kind of do the whole podcast. It's like the best performing Adam and Wack show we ever did, but we don't know about Dirk during it. Then as soon as we get done, Wack starts aggressively texting me and Remo saying, hey, they got Dirk too. We're like, who's your source? He's like, I can't say exactly. And
bro, it's crazy how Wack be knowing about all this shit. Like, I'm really starting to think, Wack them people, bro. Like, it just almost says how much shit he be knowing. I really think Wack them people, bro. Like, I know it's his wife is the officer, bro. He be knowing too much.
So we held off on posting it.
You know who the fuck his source is. Go ahead.
I don't. I'm not 100% sure.
That nigga know that source.
The feds?
Go ahead.
You tell me.
Yes.
Oh, that was different than I thought.
You said the feds. I said yes. Go ahead.
So you think he's directly communicating with them?
He can't tell you who the source is, and he know they picked up Dirk, and nigga 2 seconds after they pick him up. I mean, you tell me. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of people that could have potentially told him, right?
I thought it was Flacco.
Hey, what I'm trying to tell you is he always has the jail content first. Just continue.
But,
I'm not trying to
the funny thing about that is that we're all talking about it in the No Jumper group chat, having the conversation of should we post this or not, even though it's just a rumor. We don't really have any evidence to back it up. Meanwhile, Flacco immediately goes to his Twitter and starts acting like he has an inside source that told him for sure. I'm like, you're just using the source that I'm putting out there, and I'm making it clear that we don't know if we 100% believe in it.
Rebo in the Longway case.
He doesn't give a fuck. He just sends that
Rebo
shit.
just puts the shit up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, some of his shit is up to date, but the Longway shit, I said, hey, it was fake news. He's like, shit, it's already up.
No, here's the thing,
like,
though,
bro, come on.
Now, the fools could use the word allegedly or it would appear as if, you know what I mean? Like,
and the thing about it is there's so much misinformation and fake shit going on with this Dirk thing in particular that it's like there's not that much of like a penalty to be received if you do get something wrong, because it's like everyone is just getting shit wrong left and right.
Like Jam. Like nobody knows for sure what the fuck Jam did.
And I'm already feeling bad about my free Dirk verse.
I don't even think Jam really was telling like there or had a wire him for 6 years, because it's still not adding up. Jam was in the penitentiary for 12 years and just got out 2 years ago. So if he did wear a wire, it won't fit no 6 years. I think it. Man, shout out to King AK, because he was breaking a lot of this shit down, like a lot of shit down. Like the people who went around Dirk as much as they was. Like I'm gonna go and get into that shit in a minute, but yeah, Dirk was breaking a lot of this shit down, bro. It's crazy.
It's because I threw his ass under the bus. I'm probably gonna have to say sorry if it turns out he didn't do it.
Pretty. What?
He's denying it, and it seems like other people are denying it as well. Like other people are kind of saying that they're doubtful about the idea of Jam wearing a wire.
Okay, no,
okay, other people in the camp, because I see people in the camp. That's how I found out somebody was wearing a wire. I didn't find out I was going through one of my close friends' story, and they like, oh, been wearing a wire the whole time. But it said like 067 smooth or something.
Okay, I've read the indictment front to back several times. Where in the indictment does it have at this point anything that alludes to a wire?
It doesn't.
Okay.
Right. People made that up basically,
Okay.
right? Out of thin air. And people
Nobody wears wires anymore.
I saw a
Gee,
guy
you
with
won't
like a tweet. They got like 100,000 likes. That was basically just like, damn, OTF Jam was wearing a wire for 5 years straight. That motherfucker was sleeping and shitting wearing a wire or something like that. Like 100,000 likes. There's no evidence that it's true, but it's like just spreading like absolute wildfire. There's no containing the
I'm
misinformation
the
at
one
this
that
point.
led the feds to him. Let them tell it.
Okay, so
There's no fucking nothing that says, well, after reviewing a Brick Baby post, we decided to take down the whole OTF.
well, look, I have a lot of questions for you, but two things I want to point out.
And
Before
shout out
you
to
even
every,
start the question.
anybody who wants to send their donations, we want to represent the opinions of the fans. So for
Oh wait, John.
for $5,
on trial?
you can tell
No.
Brick Baby whatever you think.
What's the
No,
fuck?
because I've hung out with you.
Come on, bitch.
I've been in communication with Brick like this whole time, aside from the day where everybody got picked up. There was a noticeable 8-hour
like
or
Adam,
more
bro.
gap in our communication, which I found intriguing.
Okay, so after the show and I see they all got wrapped up, I popped his head and pulled the line. I was asleep when y'all was doing that. You remember?
Really?
I woke up at 1 in the morning, right when Act was ending the stream, and I was about to call in. So I
Oh.
went on stream because everybody, like my phone, like the chat. I know the chat could go crazy for nothing. So I'm like, all right, the chat's going crazy. When I look over, I'm like, okay, that's work chat. Da, da, da. Then you got Conrad calling back to back to back to back.
Calling you back to back.
Because Gordy talked about make sure Brick you go to jail.
No, we were worried.
Yeah.
But he responded to me. Then he responded to me, and I was like, okay, he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that, bro.
So you decided to get on Sleepy Time Conrad mode in the middle of the day,
Yeah. I went to sleep at like 6.
which we don't
Fucking
normally
druggy,
know
bro.
you to do.
I told you I stuffed myself with drugs.
That's fucking
Why?
sad.
You
That's
could have died.
that's
Why would you
because
say
there's a
this
lot of
online?
anxiety.
But you didn't even know about the
What's
Fed
a lot
case
of
yet. Oh wait, I
anxiety?
guess you just found out.
It wasn't even that. Yeah, it was that.
So I'm wrong by saying it's anxiety.
So it stressed you out so much finding out about the Fed case that you said, I'm gonna just intoxicate myself to the point where I won't
if it stressed you out that much, that's mean you had something to do with it, bro. Like
wake up for 8
sense.
hours.
No,
Sounds
You
fun,
fucking
honestly.
talking too much.
I just got hired because the homies got wrapped up. I'm like, damn.
That's what I was
this is
saying.
pull up for the homies type shit.
There
You know what I'm
was-
saying?
A time period in there though where I was kind of like, it makes way more sense that Brick is being interrogated in a federal holding cell at
Right
this
now.
moment
Yeah,
Brick's
yeah,
than
fucking
yeah.
anything else.
That's
Because
why.
why else? Like, granted, you are horrible at picking up your phone and shit, but you're horrible at picking up your phone and like responding to texts in the case of like, you won't see the group chat,
Group chat.
for an hour or
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
Usually, if you call, you can
Yeah.
get Brick on the line.
Yeah,
But I was definitely, there was a moment where I was like, oh, like this seems more probable than not.
I'm an all day vibrator. So it's like
Pause. Okay, I know I blew the
The
whistle
pause
last time
era
I
is
paused, but
over,
that
bro.
seems like a pretty relevant one. Was it? Yeah, okay. I see Copa Raider dropping donations. Wasn't he supposed to drop a diss track? Whatever happened to that?
Cabo wants to be my friend. I told you.
But he put out a trailer for the diss track, and then I never saw the diss track. What
Somebody
the fuck is
said
that?
it.
He said he got
Hey.
something coming.
Like, fool, don't drop that. That shit's fucking ass, bro.
Yeah.
He hit me up
Fucking ass,
because I
fool.
had posted there. I stumbled across a
It's all
video of
shout
the pass me the balloon, fool. Like there's a little viral clip of that. So I put it on my story like this was a moment because it was funny. And then Copa responded to my story and he's like, oh, I know you wrote that shit, ha ha ha. And I was like, actually, I swear to God, I didn't.
Right.
You feel me?
It's been like 3 months since that cipher came out. Doesn't that time fly?
3 months?
Something
Nah.
like that, right?
Nah, that's like
Nah.
September, right?
Because oh shit, I'm not gonna be able. Or I gotta just search for it.
That was September. I
No
want to
jumper cipher. Oh, 1 month. Never mind. Time does not fly quite like I thought it did.
3 months.
Nah, but bro, so much has happened.
6
since then.
weeks in, and you're like 10 songs in to your rap career.
I know. I have
How
like
do you
mad.
feel?
I'm like ready to stop rapping because I have all this unreleased stuff. And I'm like, okay, I need to like not record and not shoot. I need to just
You
kind of put this stuff out and see what happens.
every song's not a hit, Adam. You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to, you have to, like the one we did. We have to start back over. Some is hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you have to do 20 to pick 10.
Look at the eulogy. Look how he spelled eulogy. EOLOG.
Theology.
Okay.
this next week.
Compa, I'm going to be real with you. You need to leave the country because your spelling sucks.
No, look, me and Compa had this thing where I was doing word of the day, and I was sending him a different vocabulary word every day. And
Right.
they were like,
well, send a
big
eulogy
words.
tomorrow.
we're gonna. I think we should restart. That's my boy.
Hey, that's
man.
how you gonna spell it on the. You need to change the graphics on the. We gonna help you out here. Do not drop it spelled like that. If it's called the
Eulogy.
eology.
Eology.
Okay, let's stop talking about his ass.
Okay.
Well, we never talked about his ass.
Well, so there's two things on the Dirk indictment before I get on Bricks Melon real quick. Two things.
Melon rhymes with Telling.
Ooh.
In case you want to put that together later.
My ex-bitch is
Felon.
named Helen. So there's two things that I want to bring up that people are saying are really important. I've watched a lot of different lawyers and
find this shit.
Analyze the Dirk case, and they said the two most important things are going to be the text message that Dirk sent, where he said, "Don't be using any of cards associated with me for this," and there's a lot of ambiguity in that text right there, because it doesn't necessarily signify that
he talking about booking a flights.
Right.
That has nothing to do with
that's going to be like a big point of contention right there.
Murder for hire. When did the money? You got every overt act except for the money being dispensed.
Well, and they say that
dispersed.
They said that Vonnie discussed at the burger stand afterwards. That's
cool. All that's hearsay.
Right.
Where did the money go?
Right.
Because if it's murder for hire and ain't nobody got hired, nobody got they hired, and what the fuck?
Well, and then there's the other
murder. It's just 187. Y'all putting extras on top of the shit.
But as far as Dirk specifically being implicated in this, that text right there is the most damning thing, as well as the fact that the day he got wrapped up, he booked multiple flights. He booked a flight to Italy.
He was confused.
There's a flight booked in his name on a private jet to Italy, and there's also two flights, one booked to, I believe, Switzerland, and one booked to Dubai.
Ain't they all 30 minutes away from each other in the same country, right?
Well,
in my
got
mind,
Milan and Dubai mixed up.
He's probably booking one and then being like, oh, fuck, they have an extradition policy with the U.S. So then he's like, I'm going to buy another one.
All of those had
they all do, right?
This is the point. This is the point. There's only a few.
He needs to go to Russia.
No, listen.
Putin would take care of him.
No,
that's a whole country.
Putin would take care of him.
You go to the Florida Keys, you catch those dudes coming in on a submarine, and take me back to Cuba with you, motherfucker.
We all live.
He was with him. It's the game spitter y'all like.
Shout out to the game spitter.
Can I get the 30K subs before Thanksgiving Day? Thug. Yeah, we here to talk about little Timmy, little shorty Tim. I call him little shorty Tim. But Tim, I already know you got your little bullshit documentary going, and they gonna do the numbers. They ain't really gonna sell. Don't nobody care about the story. We already know all that stuff. But I done figure out how to make you a millionaire. Yeah, because I was just gonna give you, backlash video, just talk down on you. I gotta help you. In the Bible, it say, don't talk down on somebody unless you're gonna give them a plan to help them and grow and go to the next level. So I figure out how to make you a millionaire. And the companies, they already with it. All you gotta do is be with it, and do what they say in the contract and all that stuff. And go over the contract and sign. And shit, they ready. Because you fit it. You fit it. And I struck a couple deals now. Now tell me about these ideas now. I'm gonna let you go over the name. I'm gonna go over the names with you and let you pick, and you know what I'm saying? But what you say, Tim? Tim, what you say? Your own raisin brand. Because you definitely look like a raisin. Yeah, you look like a raisin, Timmy. Show to Tim, I struck the deal with great value because the other companies, the top brands, they was acting all funny. They wanted too much percentage, and they talking about these commercials cost this and all that stuff. So we went straight back to great value where we came from, right? And we're gonna change. They cool with changing the name, because this right here is for a certain consumer. This ain't really for the whole public. Now anybody can buy it, but it's for a certain consumer, right? So we're gonna change the name from great value, Timmy, to op value. Yeah, op value, because your ops are going to buy these. Yeah, your fans and everybody else. So keep on with me now. And they're going to be calling these Cause we're gonna put your face in the raisin, cause y'all twins. Twin, where have you been?
Man, get the fuck
Right
out of here with that weird
right
shit.
here. So we're gonna call them
I thought you was
Tim
talking
Dried
shit,
or Timmy Dried Raisins or Tim Dried Raisins, whatever you roll with. But yeah, these gonna be out value Tim Dried.
Man, the fuck is this thing doing? It's high internet. This shit don't want to load up.
Court documents allege that Banks paid for and planned out the attempted murder of rival rapper Quando Rondo in Los Angeles in retaliation for the murder of OTF rapper Davon Bennett, also known as King Von.
Snitches get stitches. It's one of the first rules of the streets. But apparently Lil Durk missed the memo. The Chicago rapper, known for his loyalty to OTF and his ties to the streets, now finds himself in the hot seat, allegedly prepared to testify about King Von's violent past.
Up and coming.
He was in jail for 2 murders?
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
Just when fans thought the drama couldn't escalate, reports suggest Durk's about to reveal secrets that could change everything.
You gonna beat it. You gonna beat it if you didn't do it. That's all.
That's expensive too, to take it to trial and all of that.
Yeah.
Hey man, if your brother got on $500,000 worth of jury, he gonna have a lawyer.
If he really is ready to break his silence on King Von's history, it might just become the most shocking moment in rap's recent memory. Let's dive into the details of this unfolding saga, a vicious history. Lil Durk, the rap star with a fierce following and a history of feuds, now faces serious allegations that have the hip-hop world buzzing. The rapper was recently arrested, accused of allegedly orchestrating an attempted murder targeting none other than rival Quando Rondo. This stems from an ongoing feud, with federal prosecutors revealing a criminal complaint that details a chain of events connecting Durk to an alleged bounty placed on a man identified as TB. The complaint, as Billboard reports, states, Banks, Lil Durk, put a monetary bounty out for an individual with whom Banks was feuding, before alleging that hitmen linked to Durk and his Only the Family imprint were tasked with carrying out the murder. Federal authorities argue that the move was revenge for the 2020 killing of King Von, a close friend of Lil Durk and one of hip-hop's rising talents before his tragic passing. The prosecutors go further, alleging that Durk's label, Only the Family, serves as more than a music group. It's described as a hybrid organization, with accusations that it functions as both a music collective and a criminal gang.
You gonna beat it. You gonna beat it if you didn't do it. That's all.
That's expensive too, to take it to trial and all of that.
Yeah.
Hey man, if your brother got on $500,000 worth of jury, he gonna have a lawyer.
Durk's arrest, however, didn't go down without drama. According to sources, Durk was allegedly planning a grand escape from the United States, with flights booked to Dubai and Switzerland and a private jet to Italy ready on standby. Authorities managed to apprehend him just as he approached the airport, shutting down his escape plan and placing him in custody. Now, with a potential life sentence on the line, all eyes are on what Durk might do next. Rumors are swirling that Lil Durk might be considering a plea deal, potentially offering authorities inside information about his crew, OTF, in exchange for a more lenient sentence. This decision could shake up Chicago's underground scene and carries implications far beyond Durk himself. Though King Von, Durk's close friend and OTF member, was never convicted of any major crimes, he had long been under investigation by law enforcement. Prosecutors suggest that Durk's potential cooperation could finally close the book on cases linked to Von, whose street ties and violent reputation remained a constant focus for authorities before his death. For law enforcement, Durk's insight could provide the missing link needed to solve years-old cases that had seemed to go cold. Durk now finds himself at a crossroads: remain loyal to his crew and the unwritten rules of the street, or prioritize self-preservation and strike a deal with the authorities. But this decision comes with significant consequences, both for Durk's reputation and his future. Adding to the intrigue, 7 unsolved and disputed murders have now been linked to Von, stretching back to his early days on Chicago's South Side, long before he became one of drill's most notorious figures.
Up and coming.
He was in jail for 2 murders?
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
His transformation from a feared street figure to a rap superstar has left fans and law enforcement alike questioning. How did someone with a suspected history as a serial killer rise to become one of the biggest names in drill music? In October 2012, King Von reportedly claimed his first victim, Richard Modell, a tragic incident that is often cited as a turning point in Von's reputation on Chicago's South Side. The attack unfolded as Modell was meeting a girl on her porch. According to accounts, Von allegedly approached him and opened fire without warning, catching Modell and his cousin off guard in what some speculate was a revenge attack linked to gang tensions. Modell was fatally wounded on the spot, and his cousin was left in critical condition, having been struck multiple times in the crossfire. The severity of the cousin's injuries was so extensive that his family faced difficulty in identifying him. Witnesses at the scene later identified Von as the shooter, claimed that would fuel investigations, but ultimately fell short of leading to charges due to a lack of concrete evidence. This killing, however, significantly amplified Von's presence in Chicago's gang world. Many familiar with street dynamics saw this incident as a declaration of Von's resolve and ruthlessness, further heightening the fear and respect he commanded. Von, however, seemed to revel in the violence, recording this incident in what fans call his death diary, as he allegedly mocked Modell afterward. But for King Von, the killing didn't end with his previous target. With little time to let the city absorb the aftermath, Von allegedly struck again that same month, this time targeting Derek Johnson, known as P5 or Crack from Jarrow City. P5 was well known in Chicago's street circles, especially among rival factions, and his death sent shockwaves through the underground. According to reports, P5 was ambushed, suffering multiple gunshot wounds in what many believe was a highly calculated attack by Von and his associates. The brutality of the crime was stark, with Johnson pronounced dead at the scene. The second attack in such a short span intensified tensions across gang territories, cementing Von's escalating reputation as a fearsome figure, one whose movements were closely watched and feared by those who knew him. Another grim entry into Von's alleged diary as Crack became yet another name added to Von's tally, a brutal episode in a saga that seemed to be escalating by the day. Von's tweets were interpreted as potential references to this event. His crime spree almost played out like a dark TV drama, with fans left on edge, wondering who would be the next target in the following month's episode. By November, the body count continued to climb. The next victim, Rodney Stewart, aka Boss Trell. This one stings a little more because, by some reports, Boss Trell was just days away from leaving Chicago to escape the gang life and start fresh in Iowa. He had a job laid out for him and would have been staying with his cousin trying to make something of his life. But fate, or perhaps something darker, had other plans. Just 2 days before his departure, Boss Trell was found face down in an alley on the 2600 block of West 83rd Street. Rumor has it a girl was used to lure him to the alley, only for him to meet with T. Roy Kama, another feared figure on the street, who allegedly delivered the fatal shot. However, others, including Jay Hood, claim it was actually King Von who pulled the trigger, further cementing his reputation as one half of the Twin Demons alongside T. Roy. It didn't take a master detective to see Von's hand in it all. He openly boasted about his crimes on social media, dropping hints and clues for fans to piece together. In May 2014, a man named Malcolm Stuckey became another alleged victim in King Von's violent rise. The story goes that Von, along with his associate Michael Wade, better known as Big Mike, caught Malcolm off guard at a birthday party in the 5,700 block of South LaSalle Street in Inglewood. What followed was a deadly shooting that left Stuckey dead and others injured. This incident would lead to both Von and Big Mike facing first-degree murder charges, along with 2 counts of attempted murder. Yet, in a twist that shocked many, Von beat the case. When news hit that he was cleared, Stuckey's sister didn't hold back her frustration. After all, while her brother wasn't coming back, Von was building a rap career, becoming famous off stories of street violence and seemingly flaunting his past. One thing to know about King Von is that he never let disrespect slide. During his time locked up, a female assassin known as K.I. had taunted him.
He had a real life crush on K.I. too. They say K.I. was sitting there, boy, naked pictures. If you check out Tay Savage 600, he'll tell a whole bunch of stories about that boy Von.
In the loss of his friends.
They really liked each other.
Feared name on the streets was known for her own deadly record. When Von was released, he wasn't about to let her taunts go unanswered. On April 11th, 2014, Von and several O-Block members allegedly tracked K.I. down after she posted her location on Twitter. Confident in her own rep, she didn't see the threat coming. Witnesses say she was with her close friend Butta when Von approached and fired multiple shots. K.I. was reportedly hit multiple times as she tried to run. She ultimately collapsed on a porch, struggling for her life, and later succumbed to her injuries at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Von was eventually questioned about her death, though charges were never filed. Later, police disclosed that witnesses had identified Von as the shooter, but a lack of solid evidence kept them from formally charging him. Stories like these have circulated on the streets, creating an almost mythical image of Von. But in recent months, law enforcement has started backing up these tales with evidence, officially linking him to multiple homicides. Long before King Von became a prominent name in music, he had already secured a reputation as one of the most feared figures on Chicago's streets. Von's life was shaped by relentless exposure to gang violence and the harsh realities of Chicago's notorious South Side, where he grew up surrounded by a culture that prioritized survival, loyalty, and reputation. Von grew up in Parkway Gardens, widely known as O-Block, one of the most infamous areas in Chicago, where gang rivalries and violent encounters were a part of daily life. This area, located along King Drive, became a landmark of sorts, defined by its proximity to territories controlled by rival gangs. Known for high murder rates and ceaseless turf battles, the South Side earned the grim nickname Chirac, comparing it to a war zone due to its level of violence. Von's introduction to this world was nearly inevitable, given the neighborhood's long-standing ties to gang culture. Initially, Von was part of the Killer Ward 07, 8YKN set, where he began establishing his street credibility. Later, he would move into Parkway Gardens, which would soon be dubbed O-Block in honor of respected gang member O.D. Perry, who was fatally shot in 2011. Perry's death marked a significant moment in Chicago's gang history, igniting fresh tensions and further entrenching Parkway Gardens in gang warfare. O-Block's new identity as a memorial to Perry was a constant reminder of the deadly stakes involved, and Von, like others in the area, absorbed the intensity of this environment. As Von became more entrenched, he saw firsthand the losses of individuals like Larry Marshall and O.D. Perry, whose deaths had a profound impact on his perspective and solidified his dedication to his crew. Watching respected figures fall to street violence strengthened Von's determination to protect his own reputation. Each loss amplified the fear and respect surrounding his name, building his profile as someone who wouldn't hesitate to defend his turf or his name. By the time he entered the music scene, Von's street reputation was well established. The weight of his experiences in O-Block and his deeply ingrained loyalty to his gang shaped the gritty narratives that would later dominate his music. In 2012, Von experienced another significant loss when he witnessed the murder of his close friend Tony Dunn, known as White on 63rd Street. Von narrowly escaped the gunfire that took his friend's life, an event that left a lasting mark on him and fueled a burning desire for retribution. These experiences shaped Von's hardened persona long before he became a rapper, embedding him deeply in the cycle of violence that dominated his life and ultimately defined his legacy. As Von entered the rap game, his industry feuds quickly became as intense and violent as those from his life on the streets. Industry Fighter. The feud between NBA Youngboy and King Von is one of the most complex and intense conflicts the hip-hop world has witnessed, rooted in both personal issues and street loyalty. Though both artists were once fans of each other's music, things quickly spiraled due to misunderstandings, public trolling, and affiliations with rival gang members. Here's a detailed breakdown of how the feud unfolded and ultimately contributed to the tragic events that followed. Initially, Von and Quando Rondo, an affiliate of NBA Youngboy, appeared to be on good terms. In an old video, Von and Quando are seen backstage together, with Quando jokingly dissing 63rd Street, a street associated with rivals of Von's.
I'm saying though, they are 63rd dirty.
Damn.
I'm talking about. Hey, listen, though, man. Y'all 63rd over there smoking crack.
The fact that Quando and Von once hung out peacefully led many to question how their relationship could sour to the point of violence. However, tensions escalated after a series of public and private incidents that stirred animosity. After being released from jail, Von expressed admiration for Youngboy's music, even going live on social media, where he could be seen singing along to Youngboy's songs. But something seemed to shift, and in another live video, Von casually dissed him. Many saw it as a lighthearted comment, but others speculated that this seemingly offhand remark stirred trouble between the two. Some fans believe that Von's frustration stemmed from reaching out to Youngboy for collaboration and being ignored or dismissed.
I doubt it.
The feud took a personal turn when Von posted a partially obscured picture on Instagram featuring Jania, Youngboy's ex-girlfriend, hinting at a possible relationship between them. Though Jania tried to quell the drama by explaining that she and Von were just working on a song together, Youngboy responded with a stinging Instagram post saying that he would have his son come find his daughter. The post escalated the tension, and it became clear that this wasn't just about music. 600 Breezy, a close friend of Von, was clearly aware of the building tension. He posted an Instagram story laughing and hashtagged it #rap, indicating that he and Von were ready for whatever might come next. The online exchanges intensified, and Youngboy dropped a snippet featuring Asian Dog Vidal, Von's ex, shortly after the incident with Jonya. Von responded with a flurry of tweets, calling Youngboy's new track garbage and hinting at having dirt on Youngboy's personal life, including details about Youngboy's baby mother that could make him not want to claim his kids. Meanwhile, Lil Reese and Von also trolled Quando Rondo over his poor album sales. Reese, another Chicago native and ally of Von, went as far as to publicly challenge Quando, saying he'd like to see what happened when they cross paths. While some fans question why two rappers would beef over women, those familiar with Youngboy's history understood that he took such matters seriously. The late Boozilla, another associate of Youngboy, reportedly had similar disputes with him over women. This personal approach to relationships added a layer of volatility to the situation and further complicated the dynamics between Youngboy and Von. As the feud progressed, Von publicly aligned himself with rappers like Fredo Bang, Sada Baby, and Jada Youngin, all of whom were on bad terms with Youngboy. By associating with Youngboy's rivals, Von made it clear that their beef had moved beyond casual trolling and was becoming more personal and territorial. The day before his death, Von was interviewed by DJ Academics, where he downplayed the idea of music beef, suggesting that things were serious only if someone ended up dead. Ironically, he had no idea how prophetic those words would turn out to be. By this point, the tension between him and Youngboy's camp was undeniable, with subtle digs like Youngboy's track Dead Trolls, which many fans believe was directed at Von. In the wake of Von's death, NBA Youngboy affiliates, including Herm and Big B, made cryptic comments on social media. Herm was seen on live video stating, "I love it," while another 4KT affiliate, when asked about Von, remarked, "He want to be a dead troll." This cold response led many fans to believe that the tension between Youngboy and Von was very real, even if they weren't directly involved in the altercation. The feud between Quando Rondo and King Von escalated into one of the most violent conflicts in recent hip-hop history, igniting a ripple effect that involved Lil Durk's Only the Family and resulted in fatal retaliation attempts, lengthy indictments, and lasting hostility. Though their initial connection appeared amicable, tensions quickly mounted, leading to the November 2020 Atlanta shootout that left Von dead and ignited a series of violent retaliations. Tragically, on November 6, 2020, everything changed. After leaving the Opium nightclub in Atlanta, Von and his crew headed to the Monaco Hookah Lounge. Due to his pending case and felony status, Von couldn't legally carry a firearm, leaving him vulnerable. Around 2:15 a.m., a dispute broke out between Von's group and rapper Quando Rondo's crew. What began as an argument quickly escalated into violence as Quando and Von clashed. In the chaos that followed, Quando's friend Lil Tim allegedly opened fire, striking Von multiple times. Gunfire erupted from both sides, with 2 police officers also intervening and firing shots. 6 men were wounded in total, and Von, along with 2 others, tragically succumbed to their injuries. Lil Tim was later arrested for Von's murder, with the whole altercation captured on surveillance footage, though the defense later argued he acted in self-defense. Von's death sent shockwaves through OTF, sparking what authorities alleged was a murder-for-hire plot. As quickly as Von's career had taken off, it was cut short, leaving fans with only his music and memories. In 2022, 5 men with connections to OTF, Kayvon London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston were federally indicted for conspiring to assassinate Quando Rondo. The charges claim that these men orchestrated a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles, targeting Rondo at a gas station in a move allegedly meant to avenge Von's murder. Although Rondo survived, his cousin Lul Pab was tragically killed in the attack, further deepening the animosity between the two camps. Court documents reveal that the indicted individuals had been offered financial incentives and lucrative music opportunities by a supposed OTF affiliate, further connecting the feud back to Lil Durk's camp. It's reported that the conspirators used a credit card tied to OTF to travel from Chicago to Los Angeles, where they spent days tracking Rondo before the gas station shooting. Prosecutors allege that one of the individuals, Grant, managed the entire operation, providing direction and resources to ensure the assassination attempt was carried out. Despite the legal fallout, Rondo and his associates continued to reference Von's death in music and social media, adding fuel to the already volatile feud. In 2022, Rondo released Want Me Dead with NBA Youngboy. This track, widely interpreted as a taunt aimed at Von's allies, solidified Rondo's defiance and loyalty to Lil Tim. His lyrics, paired with Youngboy's mentorship, only intensified OTF's grievances. The rivalry between King Von and FBG Duck stands as one of the most intense and deadly feuds in Chicago's music and gang scene, rooted in deeply embedded gang loyalties and violent history that eventually led to tragic losses on both sides. The animosity between Von and Duck dates back to the 2014 killing of Gakira Barnes, a reputed shooter for the Gangster Disciples and a close ally of FBG Duck. Known on the streets as K.I., Barnes was only 17 17 when she was murdered. King Von allegedly shot Barnes in what many saw as a highly targeted attack. The murder marked a significant escalation in the long-standing conflict between the gangster disciples and black disciples, shaking the community and sparking a deadly cycle of retaliation. FBG Duck, born Carlton Weekly, was especially impacted by Barnes's death. Her reputation as a respected figure in her gang intensified the blow, and her killing became a deeply personal matter for Duck and other gangster disciples. This incident only worsened relations between Duck and Von, pushing their crews to a level of animosity that went beyond simple street beef. In retaliation, the two factions became locked in a fierce and bloody feud, and Duck's anger toward Von grew over the years as the violence between the two gangs escalated. The hostilities between Von and Duck escalated even further as both rose in the music scene. Despite becoming increasingly popular as rappers, they didn't leave their gang ties behind. Their lyrics and social media exchanges often reference the violent histories of their respective neighborhoods and affiliations, fueling tensions among fans and within Chicago's underground scene. The feud reached new heights when it was revealed in an indictment that, before his own death in 2020, Von allegedly ordered a hit on FBG Duck, even offering a $60,000 bounty to ensure it was carried out. This revelation confirmed what many had suspected, that the hostility between the two had intensified to the point of murder for hire. In August 2020, FBG Duck was killed in a brutal daylight shooting on Chicago's Gold Coast. According to the indictment, the attack was meticulously planned, with the shooters firing 38 rounds in just 12 seconds, hitting Duck 16 times. The individuals charged in Duck's murder, Ralph Turpin, Charles C. Murder Liggins, Kenneth Robertson, Carlos Offord, Christopher C. Thang Thomas, and Marcus Muwop Smart, were all connected to the Black Disciples. A seventh person, who was also allegedly involved, took his own life before he could be indicted. Prosecutors argued that these men, acting on Von's alleged orders, carried out the hit with the promise of cash and lucrative music opportunities from OTF affiliates if they succeeded in killing Duck. Von and FBG Duck's deaths just months apart serve as a stark reminder of the cycle of violence in Chicago's gang culture. King Von emerged as one of the most infamous figures of the Black Disciples, a gang rooted on the south side of Chicago. Known for its violence and often compared to a war zone, Chicago is sometimes dubbed Chirac due to its high murder rate and prevalent gun violence. The Black Disciples, part of the larger Folk Nation Alliance, is a well-established street gang dating back to the 1960s. Known for their hierarchical structure and influence across multiple neighborhoods, the Black Disciples are notorious for their involvement in both violent crime and the Chicago drill music scene, which often intertwines with gang affiliations. Born on August 9, 1994, Von was steeped in a legacy of violence from an early age. His father, also a Black disciple, was infamous as both a feared killer and one of the wealthiest Black disciples in Chicago's South Side. The notoriety of Von's father, however, came with enemies. Tragically, his father was shot by a sniper in a drug deal gone wrong when Von was just 11. The loss of his father left Von without a guiding figure, and he soon found himself drawn to the streets. By 13, Von was fully entrenched in gang life, joining the Black Disciples. He earned the nickname Grandson because, as he recounted, people in jail saw a resemblance to David Barksdale, better known as King David, the gang's founder. He shared that people saw in him a similar demeanor and toughness that Barksdale had exhibited years before. With his deep ties to the Black Disciples, Von was immersed in gang culture from an early age, a world that only intensified his violent tendencies. Growing up without a father figure to guide him, he found his identity and direction within the harsh realities of the streets. Surprisingly, though, Von isn't the only one with connections to this notorious gang. Grammy-winning rapper Lil Durk's ties to Chicago's Black Disciples gang are now under scrutiny amid serious legal challenges linked to his murder-for-hire plot. As more details of Durk's past come to light, it's revealed that his connection to the Black Disciples stretches back to 2009, when he joined the gang after dropping out of high school in Chicago. Growing up in the rough Inglewood neighborhood, Durk was surrounded by gang influences from a young age. At just 17, he became a father, a life event that drove him to focus more seriously on his music career, even as he remained tied to the Black Disciples. His journey into Chicago's street life became formalized around this time, and his criminal record reportedly began in 2011 when he served time for possession of a firearm with a defaced serial number. Over the years, Durk's legal troubles persisted, including profound losses in his personal life.
Dante Banks was killed when he was shot in the head. Banks is the older brother of locally known rapper Lil Durk.
The tragic killing of his brother D-Tang in 2021 marked difficult times that only added to his complex public persona. Recently, Durk has faced even more legal trouble with a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Lashina Weekly, the mother of late rapper FBG Duck. Weekly's lawsuit claims that Durk's record label and distribution partners have profited by promoting violence and gang-related content, essentially profiting from reality rap, violence, controversy, beefs, and notoriety to drive up record sales, streams, and views. Weekly's claims reflect a growing scrutiny of drill music culture, where narratives of street life and gang rivalries often blur the line between art and real violence. Now, however, Lil Durk finds himself in a difficult position, caught in the crosshairs of his own investigation and recent arrest. Trouble in the courtroom. Following Lil Durk's arrest in Florida, the rapper now faces serious federal charges that could lead to a significant prison sentence if convicted. Held without bail at the federal detention center in Miami, Durk's legal troubles are mounting, especially with allegations tying him to a murder-for-hire scheme. The charges include conspiracy to commit murder for hire, committing murder for hire resulting in death, and the use of a machine gun in a violent crime. Durk himself faces allegations of masterminding the plot, providing funds for materials such as ski masks, rental cars, and hotel rooms, and allegedly communicating with OTF members to ensure their plans avoided traceability. Authorities claim Durk attempted to flee the country by booking a private jet to Italy following his associates' arrests. He was taken into custody just an hour before the flight's departure, adding further complications to his case. If convicted on federal murder-for-hire charges, Durk could face a sentence of up to life in prison or even the death penalty, depending on the severity and outcomes of his involvement. Under U.S. law, murder for hire that results in death can carry a statutory maximum of life imprisonment or a potential death sentence, with fines reaching up to $250,000. The stakes for Lil Durk couldn't be higher. Facing potential life imprisonment, the rapper's career, freedom, and even his life hang in the balance. Now, as he contemplates his legal strategy, a question looms. Would he consider cooperating with authorities and risk snitching on his own crew? Lil Durk is all too familiar with the dangerous world of the Black Disciples, a gang with roots as deep as his own within Chicago's South Side.
That's where it all started at, you know what I'm saying? Just the rap, the whole stop going to school. That's what we basically hopped out the streets. We came in.
Founded in the 1960s, the Black Disciples have established a notorious reputation for loyalty and retribution. Known for their brutal tactics and unyielding loyalty to their own, this organization doesn't forgive or forget, and any disloyalty is met with severe consequences. Durk has witnessed firsthand what happens to those who betray the gang, and he knows the potential repercussions aren't just limited to his career. They could endanger his life. To cooperate with authorities would mean not just speaking against one of their own, but speaking against King Von, a figure revered within the gang and the community. Von wasn't just another member of the Black Disciples. He was a respected figure, celebrated not only for his music, but also for his street loyalty. Turning on Von would likely be seen as the ultimate betrayal, one that would shake Durk's ties to his allies, his crew, and even his fan base. A move like this could dismantle years of hard-earned credibility, isolating him within the rap world and marking him as someone who broke the ultimate code of silence.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot? They kind of chilled out.
Beyond the impact on his career, the real dangers lie within the prison system. Should Durk find himself behind bars, he would be surrounded by those with close ties to the Black Disciples and affiliated gangs. Chicago's gang culture has deeply infiltrated the prison system, where gang loyalty and rules are often as strong, if not stronger, than on the streets. Inside, he'd be at risk from individuals who view any cooperation with law enforcement as a betrayal. Among those loyal to Von, Durk would be considered an enemy, and such a decision could make his daily existence a battle for survival. Durk's reputation as a rapper has been built not only on his musical talent, but also on his perceived authenticity and loyalty. His fans and allies respect him for standing by those he considers family, for navigating the challenges of his upbringing without betraying his roots. For years, he has projected an image of unbreakable loyalty, someone who would never compromise the people he's come up with, especially in a world where alliances are often as valuable as life itself. Yet, the weight of potential life imprisonment and the possibility of prolonged incarceration bring him to a crossroads where survival and loyalty collide. The dangers are very real, and Durk is aware that his hesitation now is about far more than reputation. It's a matter of survival. Snitching could lead to the end of his career, alienating his closest allies and erasing the legacy he's built within the rap world. Worse, it would make him a target, with consequences stretching far beyond the courtroom,
Already a fucking
spilling
target,
into
bro.
every aspect of his life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on one of the videos on your screen to dive into more content from our channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell
Already a
icon for
fucking
more.
target. That's the crazy thing.
From gunning down his favorite female out KI and trolling hard on a documentary about her, to dropping 6 figures on his ops, King Von was the kind of rapper other rappers were afraid of.
He is a serial killer, and he was a demon in human form.
I was relieved for the community, man.
Damn.
He was over there torturing them guys, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Bro, he was dead, bro. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself. He was dead.
But in reality, did Von really do it? Don't forget the rules of the streets. If you put bodies on a dead man, it's not exactly snitching because they won't be catching any jail time. With that in mind, these are all the actual bodies King Von caught back in the day, and the evidence of his involvement. No BS here. Modell. One of the murders pinned on Von after his death was the killing of Modell McCambry. It all started with Modell stumbling on the body of his cousin, 21-year-old King Doc, on April 28, 2012. King Doc had, according to his family, already left the gangster life behind him. He had been out of prison for 2 months and was trying to get his painter's license. He had gotten a GED while in prison and was trying to be a good role model to his younger relatives, teaching them to avoid a life of crime. However, no good deed goes unpunished. One hot afternoon in April 2012, Monroe was thirsty after painting at his aunt's building. He left the work site and walked down the block to a convenience store. That's when 4 men pulled up and started spraying. King Doc was hit, and he stumbled and fell into a patch of tall weeds in an empty lot. The police came to investigate, clean up the scene, and took off. They didn't notice him, so he laid there. It wasn't until hours later that his dead body was discovered by 16-year-old Modell McCambry. Modell, however, didn't learn any lessons from his cousin's brutal murder. At just 17 years old, he became involved in gang activity. He was posting pictures on social media with dangerous gangbangers like K.I. That's when King Von came into the picture. See, Von and the rest of Old Block had some serious beef with STL, the kind of beef that was on site, the kind of beef that led to the brutal murders of multiple gangbangers from both sides. Von took this beef very seriously, and he spent a lot of his time taunting his STL rivals online and publicly talking about his plans to slide on them. Unfortunately for Modell, he was affiliated with STL and was one of Von's ops. Fast forward to the 13th of October 2012. King Von had hopped on Twitter and posted, "Man, somebody get me real quick." 30 minutes later, he posted, "Hi," and 45 Glock me. That same night, just an hour and 30 minutes before those tweets, Modell was shot to death in the street. He was walking with a cousin of his on their way to meet a girl when someone approached them and opened fire. Modell was shot in the chest. He was rushed to the hospital but was eventually pronounced dead. Von continued tweeting about the death,